We are the Wistl Family Adventures channel. Follow us on our chaotic and crazy adventures as we navigate life in a new country. Today, we talk about our honest opinions on being YouTubers in the Philippines. So don't believe the stigma that coming to the Philippines and hopping from island to island is going to get you the views, the subscribers, and it's going to blow your channel up. So on a more serious note, one thing that we noticed that not a lot of vloggers will talk about is Pinoy baiting. I think one thing we really didn't realise would come quite quickly is... So good afternoon from the Wistl Family Adventure household. Holy Week is just beginning. It is Thursday, so we are taking it super easy. We've also unfortunately been really unwell this week. I'm still unwell, but we're pushing forward and putting a video out this week for you guys. And we're actually hanging by the pool, so if you hear a lot of noise, that's why. Is it cold? So in this video, we are going to go a lot more into depth about our YouTube channel than we have done in previous videos, giving you some insights into what it's really like, things we've learned along the way, and how we've grown over the last 6 to 7 months. So first things first, the most basic part of this job is mine and Kevin's roles. We deal out what we do very differently, and we both have very unique roles within our YouTube channel. I am chief cameraman, and I also edit. So those are my two main roles. They take up the bulk of the work and they take the longest to do, but I get to do all the creative work that I personally love to do. So I also work on thumbnails, and me and Kev tend to do titles together. But my main role in this YouTube channel, the Wistl Family Adventure channel, is primarily to shoot the video and to edit it, which takes a while.
So my role is something that is not normally spoken about on the YouTube platform. It's more of the behind the scenes work. For example, like analytics. So I look into more of our click-through rate, our tags, our titles, and more generally the statistics behind every single video, which is important to progress our channel. I also do a lot of research when it comes to what videos we will be producing in the future and the topics we want to put out.
So that brings us on to the next point about being a content creator, and that is content. You have to make content. That is obviously the most obvious part of being a YouTuber and having a channel, is to create content. And as Kev said, it's his job to think of ideas, but we both have to realize that sometimes what we want to film and what people want to see is two very different things, and we try really hard to kind of go right in the middle of the two. So we've noticed recently, especially here in the Philippines, that videos that used to do extremely well and get people those views and those numbers and all those subscribers aren't actually hitting the same numbers that they used to. So it's definitely a lot harder to be here in the Philippines. Think of unique content, think of places that people haven't visited before, or find a new angle on that place that people have visited before, or just to try and make more content based on just living here rather than traveling around to each island quite quickly. So in this space of being a Philippines content creator, we've definitely had to think outside the box in terms of what content we are creating, because there's been so many people before us and so many videos that have been made that I feel like people are kind of not clicking on as much as they used to. So like I said, people that travel the islands, we've seen a lot of people that have tried that and actually haven't got those huge views. We've also seen a surge, a huge rise in condo videos, and now the space is really quite open to interesting and different ideas, which I think it really does need. So we've tried things like Kev Cooks. That still needs a good name. If you've got a name for Kev's cooking videos, maybe like the Disaster Kitchen or something, I think that'd be quite funny. We've also tried a lot of family firsts ideas, so like families first experience of something here in the Philippines. We tend to think that those work really well for us, and we love doing them because it's a first experience, so you get to see hands-on what we're doing straight away. And things like that have ended up being a lot better for us than the obvious travel and island hopping that we used to see doing a lot better. So don't believe the stigma that coming to the Philippines and hopping from island to island is going to get you the views, the subscribers, and it's going to blow your channel up, because we have seen so many people have to turn around and leave the Philippines because that is exactly what they did, and it didn't work. So to say that people are coming here for views, whilst I don't think that's necessarily not true for some people, I do think that there are a few channels that have come here thinking that that would happen for them. But I think the majority of us that have really genuinely fallen in love with the Philippines are still working extremely hard to try and, you know, to try and make our YouTube channel work, as well as live here and enjoy the country. So I don't think that being here is necessarily about views or subscribers at all. I think it's just as hard to do it here than in any other country in the world at the moment. So before anybody jumps and says that we're only here for views and subscribers, that honestly is not true. We have worked extremely hard, and we still haven't seen the sort of spikes that a lot of people were seeing back in the day, where actually I feel like it was more common for your channel to blow up probably around the 2 to 3 year mark ago. Pre-pandemic, it was probably a lot easier to get those views than it really is now.
So when we first got here, we were trying to figure out how many times a week do we post. I think when we got here, we posted twice a week, and then eventually, because we had so much content, we thought we needed to go up an extra day, and that's what we've done. So we normally post on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. We used to post on a Saturday, but we realized that Saturday didn't work as well as we wanted, so we changed our day on that. But also in December we went to daily vlogging. It is a lot of hard work, and we will give credit to all those vloggers out there who do daily vlogging. For us, it took a toll. It's a lot, especially having a family and a large family. It takes a lot of our time for our day to film, edit and respond to a lot of the comments, and to look at the statistics, as well as being a family and then living a normal life. It takes a lot. So I think going forward, daily vlogging, as much as a lot of people have asked for us to go down, isn't the way we think works best for our family and our channel.
I think one thing we really didn't realise would come quite quickly is the amount of community that we have within our YouTube channel. Even within our first 1,000 subscribers, our YouTube community has been so incredibly strong throughout this whole time. If you don't know, me and Kev we've fallen off the wagon a little bit, to reply to every single one of you guys' comments. We've made that quite a strict thing that we must do, because we feel like if people are taking time out to comment on our channel, then we should give them the respect and comment back. We saw that a lot of channels actually weren't doing this at all, if ever, and we didn't really understand why that was happening. So something unique to me and Kev, and also with our community, is that we share a really strong bond with all of you guys. Even with some of the negative comments, we always talk to them, and we kind of try and resolve the negativity, or we speak to them, or we have a laugh. We do our reactions to comments now, which is a great way of just having a lot of fun with you guys. And we really appreciate and adore so many of our followers. We've also been given gifts from you guys, which has been so incredible and rewarding, and just something that we never even realized would even happen for us. It's just been incredible. The amount of support that we've had and the community we now have is just something that actually makes being on YouTube one of the best things ever. So obviously me and Kevin are not the only ones that are a part of Wistl Family Adventures. We do have our 3 children with us, Harry, Elowen and Oslo. We came to the Philippines as a family of 5, and of course they are a massive part of our journey. Filming with children is not always easy. We actually don't film that much during the week. We try and go out a couple of days a week, and our kids know that those are filming days and that we are busy at work. And then we have the rest of the week to be a family, to home educate, to come to the swimming pool, to have fun together, and go out together sometimes without filming, which is actually a really, really great balance we found that works for us. We don't want our kids to grow up thinking that YouTube is everything and that we're going to push them aside forever to put work first. Work comes as it should, but it's not a top priority if, say, the kids are ill or there's something that goes wrong or we've had an accident and many of those things have happened before, and we're not those kinds of people that will click the camera on and make a video out of those sorts of scenarios. We are very the amount of bikes today, what is going on?
Enjoying the weather.
Yeah, I guess. We are also very strict with how our kids are on the channel. They will not go on if they ask not to go on. They are not the main part of the channel. The channel is mainly about us as a family, but me and Kev are the ones that document and narrate the channel. The kids are part of our journey, so they are featured in the videos, but they are not the main stars of the show, and we will never push that on them. Being on YouTube, we have a certain responsibility to shield our kids as best as possible. None of them have social media, and none of them have their own social media accounts, and that's not something we will be doing in the future either, until A, they're old enough to make their own decisions, or B, it's something that they want to choose as a career for themselves in the future. That's completely up to them, but at the age they're at now, they can't honestly give us consent to do those things, so there will be clips of the kids, but it won't be a kids show. We have to take into consideration that not all people on the internet are nice or good people. We don't know who's watching or where or why, and keeping the kids at a safe distance on the channel is a massive priority for us. So I hope you guys understand that part of our channel. I know a lot of you have said to give Harry his own channel, to put the kids on more. A lot of you don't like when we talk a lot on the channel, you want to just see the kids. And whilst I respect that they are very, very lovely kids and they are very funny and they all have their own great personalities, it's difficult for a parent to hear that somebody would rather watch children online. And this is what it's like working with children. Now Oslo's crying. And a lot of you actually say that you don't like seeing my face. This channel isn't their channel, it's mine and Kev's. And it's predominantly about us as adults navigating a new life here in the Philippines. We just have to keep it balanced and ethical and careful, and we just don't want our kids to be in situations that they don't need to be in. So whilst YouTube can be really, really cool, there are also some really weird things that come with being online and being a YouTuber. And the first thing is that whenever we go out to eat, if we are on a filming day, and this is only on a filming day, our food can get incredibly cold quickly because we are all so incredibly busy trying to review it for you guys, to take it in turns, to switch the camera over, to get both mine and Kev's feedback, to then get the kids' feedback. So we always end up with super cold food. If you ever see a vlogger that's out and about, especially eating in a restaurant, just know that their food is probably stone cold.
So another thing we've noticed is when we get noticed in public, especially on mundane things like going shopping. I know the guys where we live, there's quite a few of them who have noticed that we are vloggers, and it's still strange when we get told, "Are you a vlogger?" And it's like,
Are you a vlogger?
I guess we are.
So another point is actually filming out in public. Now the Philippines is actually really receptive to this. We still get looked at on occasion, but compared to the UK, I feel like in the UK people would look at you thinking, what an idiot. Whereas here in the Philippines it's a lot more acceptable. Luckily enough, a lot of people have their phones out and they're filming, or they're taking photographs of their food, or they're always on social media. So we kind of blend in, because I do only use my mobile usually for filming. So we don't stand out too much, whereas if we had, I think, a bigger camera, it may be like a big old siren going like, vloggers, vloggers. And that's why we pretty much don't tend to take a different camera out with us at the moment, because we're still getting used to it. It's still really weird. It's still weird to film yourself whilst you're walking in the mall or walking down the road and you can feel people looking at you. And usually people are so nice, or they'll just look and carry on walking. But for us internally, it's still embarrassing and very strange. So we've definitely learned a lot since being on YouTube, especially after moving here in the Philippines. There's a lot of things that we have trialed and had major errors. We've had major flops. There are days where it is extremely difficult. YouTube is not an easy lifestyle choice. It's definitely not an easy thing to just go and do willy-nilly. I think there should be a lot of thought behind it if you do choose to do this. And there's so much more that goes into it. over just putting out a video and hoping that people like you or like what you put out. There's 100 million things that go into it that can make life really stressful. And whilst we try and maintain a good work-life balance, I don't think we've got it set down. I think Kev is one of the worst people because he will look at all the numbers and he gets quite in his own head about how well each and every video is doing. It is part of the job. I know a lot of you will say it doesn't matter, and it really doesn't, but because this is our kind of future job, hopefully, we do really want it to do well. So every video is our baby. Everything we do, we put in hundreds of hours of work. We go through hundreds of hours of editing. We try new things, new styles. We try and add skits, be more funny, have more entertainment value, try and get some more interest to our channel. And that's going through our minds nearly every single day. I don't think we usually take a day off, although I am working towards having at least one complete day off from social media because I do think it's extremely healthy to have that. But at the moment, we're just trying to work through making our channel as good as possible, but that comes at a cost of your work and life balance being completely unbalanced, unfortunately. This is obviously our choice, so we are completely aware of the sacrifices that have to come with this job and with being on social media almost full-time every single day. It's part of what we've chosen to do and we love it. Like, we love interacting with you guys, we love making videos, I love editing them. It's like making mini movies. It's really, really cool. It's a really cool place and we feel really welcomed by all of you guys, and it's been so special. So on a more serious note, one thing that we noticed that not a lot of vloggers will talk about is Pinoy baiting and clickbait. They kind of run alongside one another, and it's something that a lot of people will avoid talking about at all costs. I feel like most channels here in the Philippines are guilty of Pinoy baiting and clickbait, including us. And there's a reason why it keeps happening. So my theory about Pinoy baiting is that it seems to be a very specific thing to the Philippines, but I don't think baiting and exploiting countries when people go traveling there is just conclusive to the Philippines. I think it's very unfair that this Pinoy baiting thing has come around, where I feel like a lot of other countries experience the same thing, but it seems to be a much bigger issue here. Now, Pinoy baiting is where you exploit the country. You get Pinoys in by making Pinoy friendly content, the, you know, $1 haircuts, things like that really, shocked reactions, being overly dramatically enthusiastic or optimistic or happy about things, because we all know, including us, if you make a slightly negative video about food or about culture here, then people take it extremely negatively and you get quite a lot of backlash if you have more honest opinions about what you're experiencing. So it makes it quite tricky to have a very honest channel, but also to get people to watch you. We find that we see both sides of the fence. We understand it's really frustrating when you get all those thumbnails with people being shocked and their hands are on their faces. And we're guilty of doing that ourselves, because we know that if we don't do that, unfortunately, our audience won't tend to click on it. We've made some really diverse thumbnails. We've tested out a lot of things over the last few months, and we know, unfortunately, that the ones that really do work are those, and the ones that people are clicking on who are Pinoys and are here from the Philippines will only click on those. So it's a very double-edged sword. Like, a lot of people, I don't think, even the Tri-Fate boys, I think, said this in their Q&A, don't want to do this. They don't want to have to make those titles and thumbnails and entice people in. But if you don't, you're kind of missing out on views. You know, we've had people actually comment on our titles and thumbnails saying you should do this more, and they are more Pinoy baiting styles, and then we'll get more views. So it's very frustrating because it's a very difficult space to work within. You're either a Pinoy baiter or you honestly don't get views and people just aren't interested in you whatsoever. So the way we try and avoid it is to always tell the truth. So our videos are always 100% truthful. We have had negative experiences that we've filmed. We've had whole videos of negative experiences that we've filmed, and we got backlash. We got people that were like, why are you negative? Don't be negative. Pinoys don't like you when you're negative. And it's a very difficult thing to balance. Being here isn't always going to be good and perfect and amazing, but there are things that are really great and things that we do love. So it's important to us to keep everything balanced and honest. We are extremely honest, and we don't try and lead people on or clickbait people in any way, shape or form. So all of our titles and thumbnails are very relevant to what our content has in it. There's nothing that we will ever write or put out that is completely wrong or considered as clickbait, which is where basically you write something as a title or have a thumbnail and it's either a lie or it's like a hook. So basically you've hooked someone in thinking it's something else, and it's not. Like, a lot of people like doing the relationship videos, like splitting up or acting as if their relationship is in a difficult situation, and then it's completely the opposite. That's clickbait, and we avoid that at all costs, because to us that's not genuine. But it is really tricky, and we do see, unfortunately, that yes, there are some channels out there that will do this a lot, that do all the clickbait, that do put out all the Pinoy baiting videos. I feel like people can obviously make their own choices whether they watch those or not, but unfortunately we do see that those videos do tend to get those views, and the views are coming from Pinoy, so it's difficult. It's a very difficult subject to talk about, but as I said, we do try and avoid it by being honest and putting out content that we know people will love, but also that we love too. We never make anything based on either somebody else's comments or, you know, advice, or people saying, you know, you should do this because you'll get views, which we get a lot of. So what we don't hear a lot of other content creators mention is the people that actually inspired them. And we're gonna share with you a few people that inspired us and end this vlog on a really positive note. These are the people that inspired us to take a dip into an alternative lifestyle, to maybe become YouTubers in the future, even though a few years we actually weren't thinking about doing this, and who we really enjoy watching us, who inspires us to make better content every day, whose videos do we aspire to be like, and what kind of people we want to end up like here on this platform as responsible content creators. So one of the first channels that we really loved, and a lot of these, I'm going to be honest, didn't start off being anything to do with the Philippines, and a lot of these channels were actually van life channels, because if you didn't know, that was one of the things that we were thinking of doing way before we came to the Philippines, till we realized that 5 people can't fit in a van in the UK. The first channel is actually a channel called Eamon and Beck. They are a pretty big channel now, but we were watching them way before they got like their first 500,000 subscribers. These guys are really cool. They take life at a really positive angle. Their filming technique is really great, and they're just people that we really love to catch up with every single week.
So the second one is a couple from Wales called King in It.
Yeah, Craig and Amy.
And they are amazing.
They're so funny. Craig and Amy are one of our favorite YouTube couples. They again are kind of van lifers slash like traveling channels. They actually have a little series that they did do in the Philippines, which was quite a long time ago now, but they usually do like challenges, and they push themselves to do things that are really interesting. And I think in the future, me and Kev would really love, once our kids are old enough to do things like that, to be able to do those sorts of things in the future. They're also really funny, and their ads are, the way they do their ads in their videos is just perfection. The next one is The Endless Adventure. So what was that?
I don't know.
Did your voice go? Endless Adventure.
You're explaining quite good, yeah.
So you do
and I do the list,
okay.
and you do this.
This is how this works. We don't ever know who's going to do what. We just try and... Kev's not the best at talking on camera, so that's why you always see my face more than his. But I do like to bring him in and make him a part of our vlogs, because he's part of the family, and make him look a bit silly, because he's a bit of a silly Billy. So The Endless Adventure are 2 content creators. What are their names? So The Endless Adventure is a travel-based YouTube channel. They did a lot of traveling in Asia. I think they also had a Philippines series at some point. They've traveled all across the world, and they do a lot of food-based videos, which of course we love. Alison and Eric are really great. They're really funny. The way they do their transitions is really good. The way they build up a story is fantastic. They now have like a camper van that keeps breaking down, which is really sad, and we're trying to root for them. They are also American vloggers. A lot of these are either Canadian, English, or American vloggers. That's how we started getting into a more different, travel-y, maybe kind of interesting lifestyle, but they are also amazing vloggers and people that we implore you to watch. If you guys watch any of these channels, then let us know what you think down below.
Obviously the Juicy vlog was a key part.
Yes, they see. Kev really loves watching the Juicy vlog. So we've kept up with their story for like probably the last 5 years. We were really interested in it at that time because Kev's work friends were also telling him to go, and we were thinking about going on a honeymoon, so we wanted to know more about the country itself, and we stumbled obviously onto a few of the more famous vloggers here in the Philippines, and they are obviously George and Lucy.
And the other one was Los LeBlanc.
Los LeBlanc as well. He does some really interesting travel content. I think he's kind of stopped doing it, but he did an amazing Philippines series, and oh my god, like his cinematography back then was stunning. He did amazing work, and he really gave us a lot of info about different islands and where to go and what's there. And yeah, 100%. The Juicy vlog and Los LeBlanc were two of the ones that really pushed us even further into wanting to come here in the Philippines. So thank you so much as always for watching. You guys are what has kept our channel running. We appreciate every single one of you. We love talking to you every single day. You need to get on the comments quicker. He's in charge of the comments now, guys, and that's why it's slower, because he's really slow at doing it. But we really love interacting with you and talking to you and meeting you guys out and about. It's been so incredible. We hope you have a fantastic Holy Week. We will be making our Holy Week video tomorrow, which will be up on Monday, so if you can't wait for that, that's when it will be up. It won't be long, I promise. But have a fantastic long holiday. We hope you guys get to spend as much time with your families as possible. Thank you again, and salamat po for sticking by us. Bye.
Bye.